Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Northeast. I'm Andrew Pritchard, meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, we have a major storm system to talk about making its way from the southern plains into the Midwest and eventually the Northeast region here over the next 48 to 72 hours, and this video is really going to focus on those impacts. On the cold side of the storm, we have winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories in effect from the Texas Panhandle through the mid-Mississippi Valley and then into the Great Lakes, continuing off across parts of the northern half of the Northeast region here, across northern Pennsylvania, northern and western New York, into New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine. On the warm side of this storm, flood watch is in effect from the Ozarks into the Ohio River Valley, and then also across portions of northern New York, Vermont, and New Hampshire. In the warm sector, we have a large area expected to see severe storms, the potential for some tornadoes across the south, parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Tennessee. On the lookout for that Friday night into Saturday morning, and then on Saturday that threat pushes east into parts of Alabama, Mississippi, and the Gulf Coast regions of Louisiana and Florida. Severe weather not expected in our region, not across the Northeast region, but we will be talking about the potential for some heavy rain and again that winter weather impact off to the north. As we take a look at the satellite picture again, you don't see that classic comma shape, that counterclockwise swirl just yet that I love drawing on the satellite picture. The upper level low getting its act together, very strong upper level winds rotating around the base of that trough now across parts of Arizona, New Mexico, and northern Mexico. But already, if you kind of look down at the surface, you can see several layers here, but if you kind of strain your eyes and look off to the bottom right part of the screen, you can see those low-level clouds streaming in from the north. That is our moisture return. That is all of the moisture being pulled northward from the Gulf of Mexico, from the Atlantic here, and being drawn into the storm system. As we take a look at the mid-level water vapor imagery, now you can kind of see that storm system. You see the upper-level low rotating across northern Mexico into Arizona and New Mexico. And again, it's that area of low pressure that's going to intensify and make its way across the region over the next 24 to 48 hours, riding along a frontal boundary that's kind of stalled across this region, already seeing showers and storms developing along that from the Ozarks into the Ohio River Valley and then parts of the Northeast region. New York and Pennsylvania seeing rain showers already on this Friday morning. Check out the temperatures, though. A big, expansive warm sector on this storm system. A wide area here already into the 50s and the 60s with 70s off to the south. And of course, on the cold side, this would be where we expect that winter weather impact to begin to increase, ramping up into the weekend. Over the last 24 hours, again, already upwards of an inch of rain across parts of the Ozarks and the Ohio River Valley, parts of central and southern Illinois and Indiana. And again, this first wave continues to lift off to the north and to the east. So we'll just stair-step through time here, watching the impacts, watching the trajectory of the storm system, starting with Friday evening, seeing the heaviest rain off to the west right now across parts of Pennsylvania and New York, then off across parts of the Mid-South into the Deep South. As we wake up on Saturday morning, sunrise on Saturday, seeing rain beginning to increase across the Northeast, seeing the heaviest rain now across parts of the Ozarks, the Ohio River Valley with that severe weather threat off to the south. As we head into the later part of the day, this is when the winter weather impacts become rather intense across the Great Lakes, the upper Midwest. Heavy snow possible across parts of Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, Wisconsin, northern Michigan, and rain becoming heavier still across the Northeast region. As we head now into Sunday morning, waking up sunrise on Sunday morning, the area of low pressure, that surface low, now into the Northeast region, seeing heavy rain, perhaps even a rumble of thunder across the region with winter weather impacts felt off to the north, across northern New York, northern New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine. Here's a look at the upper level winds. Again, here is the strong core of those jet stream winds rotating around the base of that trough on Friday morning. As we take this into the weekend now, Friday, Saturday morning, seeing that upper level trough, very strong jet stream winds blasting across the Midwest into the Gulf Coast, that driving the severe weather threat off to the south, along with the deep Gulf moisture coming up. And then further to the north, where instability is not so great, we still have incredible upper-level support, seeing that very heavy flooding rain across parts of the eastern Corn Belt. Now let's take this further. We'll get into Sunday now, seeing that last wave, seeing the upper-level wave pushing through the Northeast region, quickly getting out of here. But then watch what happens on the backside. Another storm system here, making its way through as we get into Monday. Another little trough rotates through, and another little trough rotates through. So a very active pattern, setting the stage for continuing heavy rains across this region. So now we'll look at the high-resolution NAM model, timing out the impacts here. Again, most intense across the Midwest as we talk about the next 24 hours. Light rain will continue across the Northeast region as we head into the overnight, but it's as we get into, this would be Saturday at noon now, Dry potentially off to the south here across Pennsylvania, getting into New Jersey, that surrounding area, with the heaviest rain kind of continuing to train along the frontal boundary here across New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. That is why the flood watches are in effect across that region. Further to the south across Pennsylvania, getting into New Jersey and those surrounding areas, it's not until the cold front pushes through late Sunday or late Saturday night into Sunday morning that we see that chance for rain and maybe a rumble of thunder across this region. Freezing rain, snow continuing off to the north, and this storm system pulls away from the area as we get into later in the day on Sunday. A closer look at the high-resolution NAM model, once again, just timing this out. Rain showers continuing to be hit or miss, light in nature through Friday into Friday night. Midday on Saturday now, seeing that rain heaviest off to the north with a lull possible across the south, across this region here, perhaps seeing a break in the rain during much of the day on Saturday. Heading into Saturday night and now Sunday, again, you see the freezing line right across the north here, freezing rain possible, snow possible well to the north across parts of northern Maine. And then as the cold front sweeps through the area, maybe a rumble of thunder, another quick round of downpours across Pennsylvania, southern New York, Massachusetts, Kentucky, into New Jersey here Saturday night into early Sunday morning. By the time we get to midday Sunday, the storm system largely pulling away. Total precipitation over the next week, again, a big corridor. You see the red shading, that's 2.5 to 4 inches of rain falling across this region here from the south into the eastern Corn Belt all the way into parts of the northeast region. Again, heaviest as you head off to the north, only talking about, a few tenths to maybe a half of an inch of rain across Pennsylvania, unless you're talking about the far northwest area, and then getting into coastal portions of the northeast region. The heaviest rain, excess of 2.5 to 3 inches across northern New York, northern Vermont, New Hampshire, and the state of Maine. Snow accumulation across the northeast really going to be confined to the northern half of Maine here, with a big corridor of snow possible from the Central Plains into the Great Lakes. And then as we talk about the potential winter storm impacts, this again, the experimental winter storm severity index. And again, looking pretty tame, as much of the northeast region is in the warm sector with this storm system. But as you do head off to the north, far northern New York, getting into northern Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, seeing the combination of some freezing rain and accumulating snow, the heaviest snow falling across the northern half of Maine. The reason for that, again, the warm sector going to be including much of the northeast region here as this storm system draws a lot of warm and humid air to the north. We already looked at the upper-level jet stream pattern showing the series of quick-moving upper-level short waves that follow this storm system heading into the early part of next week, but I want to show you here, this first storm system takes most of the moisture with it. This slow-moving, big, well-defined storm system, again, pulling a lot of moisture northward into the Ohio River Valley, into the northeast region. It takes it with the cold front that comes pushing in. You see that cool push of drier air taking the warm and humid air with it. As this series of quick-moving troughs moves through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it just doesn't have the moisture to work with. It's not until the final storm system moves through here Wednesday that has a little bit of moisture to pull northward into it. So we could talk about more precipitation as we get into the mid to late part of the week. So we'll just finish looking at looking at the European model precipitation type forecast. Again, here's our storm system Saturday and Sunday moving through, getting out of here by Sunday night. Quiet Monday and Tuesday. It's as we get into Wednesday into Thursday, we see that next chance for precipitation across the northeast region. Your high temperatures for the next 5 days, starting on Friday, mid-30s to the north, with temperatures much warmer in the warm sector, near 60 degrees across southern Pennsylvania. 50s and 60s widespread across the region for the day on Saturday. It's not until you get to northern Maine we see temperatures dropping into the 40s. Cooler air starts sinking in on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, but still well above average, especially as you head off to the south. Overnight lows waking up to temperatures below freezing only in the state of Maine, otherwise talking about temperatures right around 40 degrees. Much warmer on Sunday morning across especially the core of the warm sector here, parts of Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Overnight lows Saturday night and Sunday morning in the mid-50s with sub-freezing temperatures off to the north. Cooler air does come in on Monday and Tuesday, but temperatures still quite a bit above average here. This is a region here where we're seeing overnight lows right around where our high temperatures should be this time of year. As always, Eric Snodgrass will have an in-depth look at the next 1 to 2 weeks in our Monday morning ag forecast video, and I'll be back to talk about the Northeast on Tuesday morning. Have a great day and a wonderful weekend.